Girls versus boys in real estate, a topic that I don't really want to talk about, but Lisa does. Let's talk about it.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up. Friday.
Friday frenzy.
It is.
It's the Friday frenzy.
Yeah. I actually.
How's your Friday going?
Good so far, yeah. Thank you, Mark. Yours?
How's your Friday going in that out there in the big world? Looking into your telephone.
We had a couple of days off, which was good. Up at the ARIC conference, many of you guys will note that because it was all over our social media, the largest real estate conference in the Southern Hemisphere. So we're right back into it now. We've come like with all of our little golden nuggets, haven't we?
Yep.
It's like a dog with a bone. You sort of run back and you're like all excited and got some new little strategies that we're going to implement, which is always fun. It's always fun. But guys, this morning we're going to talk about girl agents versus boy agents. Interesting because I'm a girl agent and Mark's a boy agent. So more or less, we're not going to cut each other down, but certainly more or less what we see, what we feel, what we know from what our clients tell us. So what do you reckon, Mark? Real estate predominantly was a male-dominated industry, wasn't it?
I think even bringing up the topic makes you sexist.
Why?
Because it's separating us.
Oh God, we're not going to go down this, are we? This happens every Friday. We have listen, guys, let me tell you something. This is how it starts. We have a really nice walk on a Friday morning. We have a little bit of what are we going to talk about today? We sit down, we have a coffee every morning together. Fridays, it's always, what are we going to talk? Should we talk about this? Should we talk about that? And then this morning, we were going to talk about something else. And I said to Mark, you know what? It'd be good to do a little segment on girl agents versus boy agents. I'm a girl agent. You're a boy agent. Let's just have a discussion about it. And then this happens. You go live and all of a sudden, I don't know. I think he gets excited.
I just think that whenever you bring up topics, there is a level of discomfort when you bring up topics.
Yeah. Look, these days
and I think that's pretty cool.
Okay, so
that was a compliment.
Let's just state some facts.
Yeah.
Real estate was a very male-dominated industry. True or false?
False. What's that say? Nicole says that would be a lay down. Mazza.
For the girls, wouldn't it? Mark, answer the question.
Yep.
Real estate sales used to be a male-dominated industry. True or false? You think there were more girls than boys? Is that what you're saying?
This is true.
Okay. Can I just say, looking around ARIC, Australia, the largest real estate conference in the Southern Hemisphere, 4,100 agents. I reckon it's fair to say that there were about half-half. I reckon there were 50% girls and 50% boys in there.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah,
it's changed a lot. When I look at it year on year, I actually think that it's swung quite a bit. Used to be lots more guys there. Now I think it's a good even balance of girls and boys.
Yeah.
Do you reckon, and there's some girl agents on here, so I'm keen to hear this. Do you reckon girls bring something different to the table than guys do in real estate sales?
Yes.
Do you?
Yep.
Okay, elaborate.
Food. No, I think they. It's a different set of skills. It's a different set of skills that the ladies have got.
Yeah.
So, they're wired differently. Men, and I remember Alan Pease did a really, really cool talk on the difference between men and women. And it was really, really cool. And he was even talking about how men are physically built differently with their vision, with their muscles, with stuff like that. So I think it's thousands of years of evolution. But he was just saying, even when a guy opens up a fridge, a guy's like, where's the milk? And then a woman will walk up to the fridge and go, bang.
Oh, that happens in our house all the time.
Now, the reason why is visual, is the vision is built differently. Women have a peripheral vision and men have a linear vision. So you can say to a guy, how far away is that? He'll say, I reckon it's 100, 120 meters. And a girl's like, I got no idea what you're talking about, because their vision is different. So they're wired differently.
Yeah.
It's just a fact. So when they're doing real estate, they're wired differently. And, a guy walks into a room, he puts his chest out. A girl walks into the room, she'll say blue top, yellow top, where'd that girl get that bag? It's peripheral vision. They're different.
Yeah.
And how they use those skills in their business is different again.
I have to say, guys, and I want to be really straight up about this. I do find there are times where I am getting a listing because I am a woman. I find my elderly clients in particular who are female feel very, very comfortable when I walk into the room. They particularly want a female agent. And the reason is because it's more of a security thing. And I do feel there are times when I have gotten that listing because of that. But Luke just made a comment there about, there's a softness that, sometimes makes buyers and sellers feel more comfortable. And I do think that there's a certain empathy that I can bring to the table where female agents are concerned. Often, guys, we're selling properties because people have gotten a divorce, or there's been a death in the family, or people are in debt. And just there's been so many times when I've sat around a dining room table, and people have just poured their heart out to me. We haven't spoken anything at all about real estate, and I feel like a part of that is, I don't know, you walk into the room and maybe you just give off this motherly vibe, or you're just sitting there and saying, look, what is it that you guys need? I'm not here as a real estate agent, but I just want to understand what's actually happening and what's going on here. And we'll just start having a really empathetic conversation. So I think, and not to say that guys aren't empathetic, but I think sometimes, girls can do this stuff better. I think it's just a motherly instinct in us.
Well,
I really
do. You can do the real estate better.
I didn't say that.
So, and this isn't going on in your head either. Like, this is the first
this is the buyers and the sellers, rather. Yeah.
A female agent has been number one on realestate.com.au in the Northern Beaches. Now, the Northern Beaches has 550, 60 odd real estate agents on realestate.com. This is the first time a woman has ranked number one on the top of 550 agents.
Woo!
It's the first time. So,
for the girls.
Well done. Good for the girls.
Thank you.
Now, I do feel weird separating. And I know,
it's not about that. Oh, look, Mark, we work together. I think it's not about that. It's clear that, together as a man and a woman, a husband and a wife, a team, whatever it might be, there is absolute equality there. It's not about that, guys. So please don't start getting up us about that. No, it's more about what is, is there a difference between a woman and a man?
I think to have a women's only conference is okay, but to have a men's only conference is not okay. I think that's weird.
Well, there are a lot of women-only conferences.
Well, imagine if it was a men-only conference. It'd be nuts.
There are.
So I am a bit like, I do dance around the whole...
Yeah, but I do think things change significantly over the last... I think particularly over the last 5 years, things have really changed significantly. When I started out in sales 5 years ago, I have to say... noted there were far more men in real estate, in sales I'm talking about, guys, than there were women. Fact. And I think you'll still find it's still not 50-50. There are still a lot more men in real estate sales than there are women. I mean, when I look on the Northern Beaches and I think about the female agents, there's far more men agents than there are women. It's still not 50-50. But it's not about that, guys. Today we're talking about...
Who cares?
What?
It's not tit for tat.
But I think... but I think that's why there's still a lot of these women conferences around, particularly in real estate. I know there's WIRE, there's the Women in Real Estate Conference.
There's MER.
There's quite a lot.
MER, Men in Real Estate Conference.
That doesn't exist, but you could start that. But I think
I would get shot.
I think it's because it's still relatively new that there, I think, I don't know. Look, I think, there's been a lot of changes over the years, particularly in real estate sales. And as I said, it was a very heavily male dominated industry. And that's starting to equal out a little bit more now. It certainly is. As I said, you look around AREC, Mark, the largest conference, and there certainly seem to be a lot more women this year than there were in the previous years.
Yeah. I think job sharing, is sort of just more common now where, I've just had saw a client the other day. He's taking maternity leave, and I think a lot of people are just going.
It's happening more and more.
Yeah, there isn't a set job or jobs for a gender as much. It's like, you know what, I just like doing that, so I'll do that. You just like doing that, you'll do that, and then off we go.
Without a doubt.
Although it does really entertain my lad friends. What? They find it very entertaining that the volume of sales you do compared to me.
Yeah, but hang on, let's address that, because Mark, you were the number one sales agent for years and years and years when you first started in real estate. Oh my goodness. And then so let's just address how this all happened. So 5 years ago, guys, I had decided, I was always working in the background of our business, but 5 years ago, I decided that I wanted to jump into real estate sales.
You did.
Something I wanted to do my entire life. And I was 46, and I thought, I'm getting old. I need the energy.
Young.
I need to jump into this now, and just give it a good hard crack. I never thought it would be all this. I'll be honest. I didn't. But I did say to myself as a personal challenge, if you are going to sacrifice so much, you're going to give it every single thing that you've got. And so I did. And then, the tables turned.
Having said that, I've got, and people wouldn't know this, but I think to be like, if you're number one out of 500 agents on the Northern Beaches, you're not only the top 1%, you're the top almost, I think, 0.1%, 0.2. So high level operator. In any industry, to be such a high level operator, and it's not just high level emotional, it's high level activity, it's high level hours, it's high level, everything. And I think that making excuses for myself to not be selling as much as you, I think that it's a bit like a footballer, that you've probably got 15 really, really good high level years, 20 to sort of 35 as a footballer, for example. And I think as an estate agent, observing our industry, those years of high performance are not 30 or 40. Making excuses for myself,
but hang on,
they're more like a good 10 or 15.
But I also want to state why I came into real estate at 46, into real estate sales. I would have loved to have started earlier, but I was at home raising kids. Now, guys, please don't get up us about equality and things like that. This is not what this is about. This is our life.
Sensitive topic.
No, I know, but
you chose this topic.
This is our life. And I was at home raising kids. The kids were little and they needed me at home. This is our life and our choice. And so it was only at that opportunity when I was 46, when the kids were older, that I felt that I could just let go a little bit and start to do what I'd always really wanted to do, and that was come into real estate sales.
Now, it's a live show, guys, so if you've got any questions for us, throw them at us.
Yeah.
And we are talking about girls versus boys in real estate.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on it?
Yeah, what is your opinion? And also, I want to get back to addressing what else female agents can bring to the table. So we've discussed the empathy side of things, not to say that guys don't, but I know in terms of our dynamic, I certainly feel like that is a feather in my cap. So empathy, without a doubt. The other thing is just a creativeness. I know I can walk into a room. I mean, I love designing homes anyway. So, and I think, you know, most girls are good at this kind of stuff as well, and there's guys as well. But in terms of, you know, if it was Mark versus me, and say, for instance, we were going to a listing presentation together, I would definitely one-up you on that, Mark, in terms of designing a property and getting a property all ready and prepped for market. If a vendor said, guys, what needs to be done to the home to prepare it for market, I could certainly run around that home and have it all designed beautifully. Guys, what do you think? Let's throw it out to you. Mark's not comfortable with this conversation at all. What does Luke have to say?
Do male sellers want a female sales agent, even if Luke can't spell? What are the objections?
Yeah. So, yes.
Yeah, you know what? I reckon a guy wants a chick.
Well, it's funny, Mark. You think about, would the vast majority of your vendors have been female or male, or a good combination of both?
Male.
And I reckon when I look over 5 years, I reckon the vast majority of my sellers actually have been more female than male. True. It's true. I swear. And it's what I come back to. Like, when I think about my
does anyone care?
Particularly the older female sellers. Honestly, I can tell you now,
see, just by separating it out like that, we're being sexist.
Okay, hang on. I want to let me give you guys an example. One of the very first properties I listed, I had done these mass DL drops, and I had this elderly vendor contact me, and she was selling a 2-bedroom apartment in DY. And she actually chose me off my DL card because I was a female agent. I swear. You know which one I'm talking about. I then actually went on to sell one of the most amazing properties on the Northern Beaches as a result of that. Same vendor. But she had deliberately chosen me because I was female, DL card, and that's what appealed to her. She wanted a female agent.
Yep, it's true.
True story. True story.
There's also a third category that we won't talk about today, but I'm sure that'll be introduced shortly.
Okay.
Not at Novak. Maybe it will be at Novak.
All right. I don't know, whatever that means.
Non-binary.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Like, guys, and understand, we are all for whatever goes. That's not what this segment is about. It's not what it's about. It's an observation that we have made over the years. It's an observation that we've made.
But being number one out of 556, 55 agents on realestate.com and being the first time for a female to be in that position, I think is significant. Well, however you look at it. I think
in what I still consider to be a heavily male-dominated industry.
And I still do. I do think
changing quickly.
Chicks can celebrate that a little bit.
Yeah.
I honestly do.
I also just want to say,
you know, it's not. It's just. It's good. Like I think it's actually a really, really good.
On a side note, I just want to say that this is an industry where females are so incredibly supportive of one another.
Oh,
it's and I want
Arik was crazy.
I want to make that observation. Honestly, I do.
Yeah.
Because again, Mark, we've just finished attending the largest real estate conference in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many females came up to me and were just like, we love you. We love what you do. Like it was
amazing. Like if you looked at the difference between Lisa and I, for every 100 people Lisa had that said that, like, well done, good on you, I had 0.
I want to find a quick little video because I want to, Mike, you keep talking and I'm just going to find a quick little video. So pretty much
just to explain exactly what I just said is no one actually patted me on the back and said, well done, I love your social media, like boy power and that stuff, but every woman that walked past Lisa said that.
Okay, so
that's okay.
Here we go. This is an example.
Lisa has influenced me and been able to be more out there and outspoken, the most authentic myself and my social media. And just from that, I've been able to document my journey into real estate. So I am a cadet at
and guys, this just went on and on and on. Like,
I just love your inspiration, how you're authentic too, and you don't use general real estate
honestly, like the amount of girls that came up.
What that
that-
have to do with girls
that's-
versus boys?
No, but I'm just saying on a side note, Mark, that's so rare for that to happen. Like, so many women just coming up and saying, we love you, it's great what you do. I mean, it was just incredible. It really
Okay.
was.
Back to
It was
girls
incredible.
versus boys.
Yes, I was just trying to find another video that was really funny.
Boys won't go up and go, mate,
No.
where'd you get that jacket from? Love that jacket, mate. They'll go, ooh, ooh, ooh. But a girl will go, excuse me, do you mind if I ask, where did you buy the jacket? And the girl will go, I got this jacket from blah, blah, blah. They go, oh my God, I love that jacket.
Yeah.
So it's actually a little bit different as well. Like, we're wired a little bit different. We're again, I think it goes back to what I said at the beginning of the segment. We're sort of natural born, we're sort of more hunters. We're wired differently. Girls are nesters. It's a fact.
It's a fact.
And
It is.
nesting can be really good for listing.
Lisa, did boys come up to you? Luke's asking. That's a really, really good question. Yes, I did have guys come up to me. Not as many. I reckon I would have had 20 girls to one guy. And it's really quite incredible because it's never in, again, they always come up. They're always very professional, very complimentary. But yes, definitely did have guys coming up to me. So, it was interesting.
I had no one. No, actually, the only person that came up to the whole conference,
fuck.
the only person that came up to the whole conference was my solicitor, who I paid. He's the only one that actually came up to me in the whole conference, and I stuck so closely to him the whole conference because I had no one else to talk to.
Oh,
While Lisa was just going through all these people on the side.
Oh,
You know,
what
like,
nonsense. What
doesn't matter.
nonsense. It's all right, Mark.
It's a show.
It's all right. That's a show. That's a show. Now, listen, guys, on another note, I did have lots and lots and lots of people asking if I was offering any sort of mentoring. I wish I had all the hours in my day to be able to help people out because I genuinely do love doing that, but I don't. So what Mark and I have been talking about was doing a mentoring day. So stay tuned on that. I've had so many people reach out to me. I put a little prompt out on my social media and I've had a ton of people reach out to me. I may very well be doing a day with me, so spending an entire day with me, and we're going to work out how we're going to
Pretty
set that up.
rare. It's pretty rare that you can work with someone, top performer in the industry for 8 hours.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Very, very. We're going to do
That's
very, very, very limited spaces. As in, I'm probably going to open it up to maybe half a dozen people, and we're just going to work out exactly how we're going to do that. But stay tuned, guys, over the coming weeks as we prepare that. But we're going to start off with probably a walk in the morning, a breakfast. Then jumping into the van, we have a work van, jumping into the van and actually spending the entire day with me, and then we'll have to finish off
And you'll
with
be doing
drinks.
deals.
Open to everyone, guys.
You'll be
Open to
doing
everyone.
deals on the fly.
Everything, day in my life.
It will go towards charity. Part of proceeds will go towards charity. So pretty exciting.
And
thing
lots
to
and
do.
lots and lots and lots of social media and how I do that social media as well. So stay tuned, guys. We are going to roll out some information about that, but we're just going to keep it to probably half a dozen people, I think.
Happy Friday.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.